I wanted to start this video like not looking at the Corvette just because I know what's in my future for today. It's more sanding. It's a lot of sanding. I've been avoiding it, doing other prep for the car. And today I'll be sanding it and we will be officially painting the car. But first I wanted to show you guys what Chris has been working on. Chris has been clearing out what will be our future shop. So that means next week, hopefully we can start on renovations. Chris is still fighting me on wanting to paint the ceiling matte black or like a satin black. I've just seen a lot of really cool shops that have it. So right now that is the plan, along with like a bunch of other renovations, because this shop needs like the full works. It needs everything. Lights gotta go, sad droopy fans gotta go. This floor, gotta go. Cream, busted floor, gotta go. Those walls gotta go. Like this is gonna be a full renovation, which I'm actually like pretty excited to switch up the content a little bit and do some like home garage makeover stuff. And I really want to start working on this so that it is done before the year starts getting way too crazy with events and everything going on. I'm thinking about having that wall be like a crazy accent wall, black ceilings, cool lighting. We'll see. Chris has been doing a good job working on this. Y'all want to see the transformation of the storage? Look at all that stuff Chris has already moved. Oh, this is gonna be so useful, not having to have this in the shop or on the floor. Dang, Chris, look at this tire shop we got over here. Oh my God. It looks so dramatic. Man, you organized it all cute in here. Organized it by tire size, tire compound. Got everything labeled. Now I can see all my wheels. Sailor 7, bumper, side skirts. Ooh, I forgot about this. This is actually bash bar for the Vert 350Z. Damn. RX-7 stuff, wiring, dashes. Engine that needs to be rebuilt soon. Probably gonna work with the Vargas brothers on this one. Good work.
Thank you.
I have hauled this thing around with me throughout so many moves since 2015, I think. This was like the last event of the year. It was almost hailing in Vegas. Hail, rain, mud. It was like a demolition derby for that race and it was wild. And I got to keep the door at the end of it because it was the end of the year. I want to use this as a decoration. And look how light this door is. Look at that. Oh, Chris, you look strong. Hey! Look at you. Shop renovation is what is coming up on the channel very soon. So if you guys have any good ideas, send them my way in the comments. I really need to maximize every inch of space in that building. So that is next week, and today we're back to Corvette things. And today we are finally going to be painting the engine bay and the interior, and I still have a lot of prep work to do, but this is the very last stage. We can finally start sanding the car and then wiping it down and taping it off before we push it into the paint booth. So I let the car sit out overnight after we pressure washed it. We used a bunch of degreaser, did many passes, let it dry overnight, and now it's drying even better in the sun here. We still have some water in the back, so I'm gonna go over the whole car with this towel, probably use the blower as well, and then push it right back into the prep room and start sanding away. I hate sanding, but it must be done.
I'm finna jump for the shit all top when I speak, all cap with the speech till they caught up in the rapture. I'm so out of line with the phrase game. Let's take a break, been a long day. Hit your line, what you fall through with the light sticks. Maybe help me spark the ideas. We got nowhere else to go, it's only up from there. I've been on my own, just running through the field. Say vivid for the ears, I know that's how they like. Yeah, I fantasize. Tell me that it's real when it's all said and done. I said it how I feel it. I let them hit the fear of a passive aggressive. Angry black man with a passion. Steady grip when I shoot to the stars with a full clip. Trying line with the loose streets. And I keep shooting till I lose sleep. To the hand with the true with the bite.
What did you just ask me, Michael? Did you just ask me if I was painting it black?
Well, I looked at the engine bay and I saw that it was black.
Is this your carbide? No, I'm painting it neon yellow. The opposite of black.
That's a task. That's gonna be cool though.
Well, originally I was gonna do white, and then I was like, I don't know if I want to commit to doing white logos yet, because that's what was gonna like tie in the inside being white, like the 3-rotor car. And there needs to be more neon yellow. There wasn't that much on the bumper. It's the best color in the whole world, so I thought, why not? We'll see.
Sure, it'll turn out rad.
Not black.
Okay.
Michael,
Okay.
God. So yes, the plan is still neon yellow for the engine bay with prism, and I might have gotten more rainbow flake from House of Color as well, because with the prism effect, it really, if you add a lot of it, it makes the color look very metallic pretty fast. Like one coat already has like a lot of metallic sheen across everything. So if I want more flake but don't want that sort of metal look to overtake the neon yellow, I can then go in with my dry flake, which my favorite one is the rainbow flake by House of Color, and I can mix that up and spray it on here for more of the flake effect. Do I still make interior neon yellow and the cage neon yellow, or do I want to accent the cage hot pink or a different color? Wanted to address two things. The first one is any comments about like, why would you strip the interior and do all that after you already painted the exterior? Painting the exterior of the car was a timing thing, and what was prioritized was that crazy full car fade. We worked with timelines there, and that was the more complex paint job that just had to be done in a certain timeline. So that is why we painted the exterior first, and now to protect all that stuff, we took everything back off, and that gave me enough time to now take my time with prepping and gutting the entire car, because as you guys have seen now, it's not like a fast process, and that is why we are now painting the inside. In a perfect world, yes, I could have gutted the car and done the interior and the engine bay first and then exterior, but it's all the same at the end of the day, and it's gonna be fine, guys. The second thing that I wanted to address is that when I say full interior neon yellow, or when I was talking about it initially being white, I don't mean the dash. Y'all, I'm not painting the dash. So I have a HGK carbon fiber dash on its way right now. It's probably going to be here beginning of next week. And I also have their inserts for this entire bottom part of the car here, both on the driver's side and the passenger side. They're big carbon fiber inserts. I also have their HGK carbon fiber firewall that is meant to go into the back of the car. I wanted to get that out there because it's not going to be as bright as you guys think, and especially when you realize that we're going to have two big seats in the car. I might not have a passenger one, but I feel like I'm going to want a passenger seat at least sometimes, or maybe a cool suit over there. It's not going to be just full neon yellow. I wanted to let you guys know the bigger game plan and the bigger vision, and that's why I'm not like freaked out about painting absolutely everything neon yellow, because it's gonna have to be peeking through all the other stuff. Bell Raceworks did such a good job. Like, the best Corvette cage I've ever seen with how high it goes. I still have use of the top and how tucked everything is. You really don't see the cage almost at all. When the top is on and the windshield is back in, from the side, you don't see these bars at all. And look at this. From the front, you will just barely see the top of that bar just peeking through the tiniest bit. If I only had the cage neon yellow, that isn't gonna pop as much as you think that it would, just because this cage is so good. I think I am set on just painting everything neon yellow, because you know what, YOLO, why not? Before we push it in, you guys know I hate cutting wheels, so Marco is going to help me cut off this bracket right here. Now this is where the battery had like a bracket and would sit right in this corner, and I'm gonna be putting the battery in the rear now, so I don't need that ugly bracket, and I wanted to get that off of here before I'm stuck with it after I paint it. And she's out of there. Thank you, Marco. time, we're gonna be going over the entire car with 320 grit sandpaper, and I'm really excited right now because I just found out that we have 2 air DAs. One of them actually has the vacuum part on it, so it sucks in all the dust and is passed through our filter that's in this room. I'm really hoping this one works. I've never seen someone use the vacuum one, but I think that it does work, so that'd be sick if that works. And then now Chris can have another one going so we can do this faster. There's gonna be some areas, probably a lot of areas, that I gotta go in by hand with some 320, get into some nooks and crannies that we can't reach with the DA, but we're just gonna start sanding. Hopefully this goes way fast. USC coming in clutch with our prep materials. We still need to go through all those boxes and organize this room, but for now this is their 320 that'll stick on, and it has holes in it so that all the dust can be pulled through. I think this is gonna work. The vacuum and everything. Hey. Okay, I'm gonna be honest, I forgot that I actually had an appointment yesterday, so I ended up having to take off, and Chris held it down and got most of the prep done. And one other thing, Cricket from Drift HQ came by and finished up our last 2 block off plates that we needed. So if you remember, these had really big holes in here from when the cage was put in. You had to cut into the fiberglass, and it was gonna let a lot of like fumes or smoke come through. So Cricket made plates for this. It was actually a 2-part plate that then had to be connected to the fiberglass there, but that is knocked out.
I gotta tell you something I could do. I could be running around chasing you. Cause I got better things to do. Rather spend my precious time chasing somebody who loves me too. If I got $1 for every time you slam the door, I would that thing. Life. If you hadn't run away, every time I asked you stay, you would sleep right next to me.
Yes, Chris. Yes, Chris. Give me
a 180. If you sit.
I'm a winner, babe, but you didn't win this. It's a part of the game. In the beginning, I just didn't know that you're an enemy I held too close. Now I know, cause you did everything to prove me wrong. You were not the guy I thought. Now I'm beating you.
Randy is here, and he has the secret to having paint adhere to our silicone right there. I will say, I did not really know that that's kind of a big no-no, that people generally know that paint won't adhere to silicone-based sealants like that. So if you don't have a Randy that has a connect for this super secret primer sauce, maybe don't do what I did. And what would you normally do? Panel bonder instead of that?
Panel bond it, yeah, panel bond it. It's all sandable, and it's a lot easier to work with. You can paint right over it. Sometimes without even sealing it or whatever.
So don't use what I use, but because I did use that, Randy's coming to the rescue with what is in this can right here.
So it's a pre-mixed, it's an epoxy primer, but it's a light epoxy primer, and they use it a lot in avionics. It's got a fast cure time, like a fast cure time, like super fast. Like we can probably spray a couple coats on there, and it's probably gonna flash like in 3 to 4 minutes.
And you said that has silicone in it?
Yeah, it does work when you primer silicone. It
Okay.
literally like adheres like no other. And usually an epoxy is great for bare metals, composites, fiberglass, stuff like that. So a lot of this area here, we're gonna spray some of this on there. That way that it won't chip, because you're gonna be working on it a lot, and the last thing you wanna do is drop a wrench, and your color will come off it, so.
And this is what is sprayed on aircraft
Yeah,
primarily,
Cessna,
and they
small
use
jet.
a lot of
A lot
silicone-based
of
sealer
silicone
on
stuff.
that?
Yeah, they put, like,
Okay.
especially on the rivets and stuff, when they put panels together, sometimes they'll silicone, like they'll just, you know, they'll get in there and try to like seal everything. But this will help a lot. Especially with composite stuff, because a lot of avionics stuff, I feel like it's aluminum, composite, carbon fiber, and all that stuff.
And that is normally not for sale in that small of a quantity. So Randy really hooked me up right here. He had to call a guy who knew another guy to then get this sus-looking batch of already mixed material.
It's pretty cool because it's a 1-to-1. So there's only 8 ounces in here. That's pre-mixed, but we put it in a can, sealed it, brought it here. It's been an hour and it still hasn't gotten hard. So we're gonna put it to the test as soon as you spray it, because Colette's kind of like on the iffy, but it's gonna harden up.
No, I was nervous. I was like, okay, I was trying to think of ways that we could get paint to work with where the silicone is. And I was like, do we need to put tape over it? Do we need to put this, like, they have fiberglass like tape that you can maybe cover stuff with. I was looking up all types of stuff, and Randy was like, you know what, calm down, chill, I got you. And now we're gonna test it out. So ideally you just wouldn't use the silicone sealer that I use and just use a panel bond instead, but we're gonna make it work. Oh, and we're also going to be using this on the back too. So this was silicone based as well. I think that Cricut used to seal that up. The next day, we stopped painting pretty much immediately yesterday after that first coat of the aircraft primer was put on the car, because the temperature just dropped immediately. Right when we turned the fans on and off the booth operational, it was actually pulling in the air from outside. And if you guys are in Florida, you know that it's been extremely cold for this time of year, and the booth just went from like 75 to 50 and dropping. And we knew we couldn't paint the rest of the car at that temperature. At that temp in the booth, we would have probably had to wait like an hour between every single coat. When eventually we did get to the clear, we would have had to wait like 2 hours in between each and every coat. We would have been here from the nighttime all the way up until the next day. And there was a potential for the paint to just not flash like it was supposed to. So we stopped immediately after putting that aircraft coating on the car. I'm here, it's the next day, and I have bad news. The paint's really messed up, guys. Like bad. Look at this. This is like a painter's absolute worst nightmare. Now at first I thought, oh my god, nothing's sticking because it's a silicone, like I messed up, and I still did mess up. Like preferably don't use a silicone based sealant, use like panel bonder or some other epoxy. I thought that it just wasn't bonding like it was supposed to the silicone parts, because if you look right here, right around when I put the sealant on, it was starting to peel off, and I was like, oh my God, what did I do? But then I went to the back of the car and I noticed that it's just everywhere. An interesting thing to note is that it's actually sticking to the silicone parts better than some of the other areas. So right there is that silicone sealer, then right here is just our aluminum plates that were made. Man, this is like the weirdest thing ever. Even right here on the cage, if you look right there, on the cage in areas where there was just absolutely no silicone at all. And then we reached out to his buddy that paints aircraft and uses this paint all the time. And he was like, yes, that is 100% temperature related. So I'm really glad that we made the decision to stop last night. Our mission today was to go get a bunch of space heaters to control temperature in the booth. Now I've had the space heaters going for like an hour now, and our temp is already up to 85, which is great. But that's because there's no fan running right now. So the plan right now is to start painting the car tomorrow. Obviously now with all of that peeling up, both on this side, on parts of the roll cage right here, and across a lot of our engine bay area right there. I now have to sand all of that off. Hopefully we can control the temperature in the booth better just with those space heaters. So I think this is actually where we're gonna end this video. I'm trying to film more. I'm trying to take you guys along for absolutely everything, the mistakes and all. So that sucks, that big sucks, guys. I just tell myself that literally everything happens for a reason. If I didn't use the silicone sealer, maybe we would have just gone straight into painting the whole car with the sealer, and then we would have gotten already done with the car and realized that the temp was a really big factor and messed all the paint up. So I don't know. I believe everything happens for a reason. We're gonna get through this. This project is just taking a lot longer between all the prep, even before now. That is crazy. This is wild. I never knew that paint could be this dramatically affected by temperature. Oh my gosh, I didn't even see how bad it was peeling over there. Look at this, you guys. Oh no. I'm so glad that we stopped painting last night. I'm bringing you guys along for the ride. The good, the bad, the ugly, just everything in between. That's building cars.
I don't take no chances. Fill up all the blanks with lemon.
That is it for this video, and I will see you guys in the next one.
I'm just in it for the thrill of it.